Hello Linux lovers, it's me. I'm going to do some more coding this evening. We're going to work on the last stubborn bug fixes in Ubuntu MATE, or at least that's the plan. So we're not going to mess around too much this evening. We're just going to ping a quick message to some friends over here. So because I don't expect anyone to turn up for a moment or two, so it will be fine. So there's a number of bugs that are affecting blind and visually impaired users, so we're going to make sure that those are fixed. And then we got a few long-standing, for a couple of releases, bugs that I think are fixed and we need to repackage and get those up. And then there's some fixes that I landed this morning, and we need to test that they're all in good order. So we'll just let people know that we're doing that now. So that's the plan. Get a bunch of stuff fixed. So if we just go into the code chat, we'll just that's what I was working on earlier, in fact. So we'll just do new because hello Henrik and Ferren, welcome. I'm just going to turn the music up a bit. Let me know if it's too much. Thanks for stopping by. Glad to have you here again. So the to-do list this evening is upload new Deja Dup plugin. Now I'll explain what that means a bit more later. We need to test the new settings. So actually we need to test the screen reader in the live session, and we need to, gosh, what else did we fix? Oh yeah, test the light DM manual login. In fact, it's test that light DM manual is disabled. Too loud, Henrik, or all right? Not doing a grand announcement for this one. This is a stealth stream. Good level. Okay. I have reprogrammed my stream deck, so I can bring it down a little bit, should I need to. Hello, Luke. Welcome back. Glad to see you here. I see your routine is unchanged then. So we need to test that new thing. We need to test the screen reader, test light DM. What was the other thing I was going to do? Oh yeah, we might have a go at Ubuntu MATE icon theme snap, because the GTK snap has been a huge success and works a treat. Hello Monica, welcome. How are you doing? How is your day? Hey Roly, welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. So these Twitch stats are a bit rubbish. I'm looking at my thing at the moment. It tells you nothing useful. Right then. So I think that's probably sufficient. Just finished recording. Oh, really? How exciting. Do you know when that episode is going out, Monica? Yes, there are a few VIPs. In fact, most people are VIPs in here at the moment. Right then, so I think that is kind of what we want to have a look at. So let's just pull in a Chrome tab very quickly. Now, if any of you have heard the Ubuntu podcast recently, you might be thinking Chrome. That doesn't make any sense because you said you've moved to Brave. It is true. I use Brave as my default browser, but when I do these live streams, I always use Google Chrome. It's like my streaming browser. And that's because it doesn't have any of the browser history in it for work-related stuff. So hopefully I won't accidentally show you all of the super secret stuff we're doing at work. I say super secret, it's all open source if you go looking for it, but we haven't announced the new schnizzle yet. Speaking of new work has a Twitch channel, Slim DevOps. I'll just put it in the chat here.
Community Time gifted a tier 1 sub to Rolybug. They have given 2 gift subs in the channel.
Monica, you are too kind to everyone. Thank you very much. So, that's very good of you, Monica. So, Slim DevOps, I think, is what I called the channel. So that is the channel where I'm going to be doing work-related stuff. And that will include some initial building an OBS set from scratch, because we'll be doing live streaming in there and all sorts. So I'm going to do some of the initial OBS building there. So those of you that are interested in OBS and some Q&A around upping your OBS skills, then get a follow on there so you know when I do that thing. Right, so let's start by taking a look at Launchpad. Let's think about this. I landed some work for, I think it's Deja Dup. So this is made by my good friend Marcos Costales. Here he is here. And as you can see, the current version is 0.0.8. That's a quality open source version number right there. Maybe I just want to go to Launchpad Deja Dup. I think the root project exists here, and there it is. So earlier today Marcos landed this tarball, which is the new version, and that was as a result of me doing some work. So if we look in the change history, here we go, you can see that 5 hours ago Marcos merged my changes where I fixed 3 bugs. One which was about bumping the version number to a consistent version everywhere. One was a bug fix to make one line of code Python 3 compatible, which is causing it to crash. And the Deja Dup Upstream let us know that they'd removed a feature from Deja Dup, and we were relying on that, so I've removed the bindings for the restore missing files feature. So Marcos has landed all of that, so with a bit of luck I should be able to go and get the final. I've tested it in a PPA, but it's not the final build because I built it as what's called a native package, not a quilt package. So we're going to go to Ubuntu MATE distro packages. Debian, yeah, there. And that's updated, so I think I've merged all of that stuff. Oh, hello, is my window off the screen there? I think it might be. Let's just try that again. Also, I would like to say thank you to everyone who clicked on my GitKraken referral link. Yes, they're sending me $100 Amazon voucher. So thank you all very much. I'm not sure how I use an Amazon voucher to uplift the stream in some meaningful way, but that's kind of brilliant. So thank you for those of you that clicked on that when we were talking about Gitkraken the other evening. Hey Andy Hazen, welcome back, lovely to see you again. So if I use scan to pull in the tarball, holy smoke, that only worked. Look at that, it went and did it. So let's just do the change log. So Marcus did all the right stuff. I've put the closure statements. There's a patch we no longer need. So I'm going to build this and stick it in the PPA. Oh, hello, what's this? Ah, there's a patch in here we don't need. Okay, that's fine. Because I removed that from the test that I did earlier, but not from here. So let's remove that. Let's edit the series file. Anyone that's ever done Debian packaging before, you'll be familiar with this file. Usually I would remove the file at this point and then recreate it if I need to add another patch. But I saw another package the other day where they leave just an empty series file behind, and I was like, huh, that's actually a rather good idea. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to leave an empty series file behind. So we'll rebuild that source package now that patch is removed. Sign it. And off we go. I have a new keyboard and a new mouse. It's all very exciting here. In fact, I've messed around with my whole office over the Easter weekend. Hello, Velcro Tech. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. How are you? So there's a source package. So let's put that up into the playground PPA. Gosh, don't push that button. I can do this all.
Thank you for the follow the Psychopod.
The Psychopod, is that how is that the correct pronunciation? Did our voice assistant get that right? Thank you for that. I've also upped our voice assistant game as well. Brilliant. That's awesome. Yeah, great. That's some smarts right there in the voice assistant. Hello Eric, how are you? Welcome back, thanks for joining. So, I was about to do something where I pushed the tablet, which is there as backup. I'm not going to push the tablet. I'm going to do it this way. So, just put that away for a moment. There we go. Ooh, I've hidden myself entirely. What? Have I actually removed myself from a scene? I blooming have as well. What an idiot. Look at that. Look at that. Look. And I suck. That's no good. Well, anyway, I'm off screen momentarily. So we'll just wang this up in a PPA. And this should be effectively the same change that we had earlier. But a cleaner package because it doesn't have... It's not built from a source pack. It's not built from the source repository. It's built using a tarball, which is the correct way of doing things. Right, so that I think is we can say in here that has gone to the PPA. So now we need to test that the screen reader works in the live session. Now, Sai and Bill from the Ubuntu MATE QA team have done a fantastic job digging into this one. Something that I actually care about quite a lot, and since the very beginning of Ubuntu MATE have tried very hard to make sure it's accessible to visually impaired users. And this bug has been a big fat mess, and Sai did a great job. digging into it, and it turned out to be a relatively simple fix on our side, so we will go and give that a go. It's that moment where I don't know if yeah, okay, that's appeared in the right place, so let's just make that a bit bigger. I think 4 times font enhancement is what we want, isn't it? There we go. So we'll fire up good old trusty QuickMU. We'll run up our dev machine. Nope, this is not what we want. This is not what we want, because we want to invoke a brand new install. So let's think about this. I may even need to generate a new ISO, actually, thinking about it, to actually test this properly. So let's go. That we may not get to doing a full-on can never remember. There we go. This is going to complain because it's defaults to HTTPS. Come on. Right, let's get my magic number out of here. In fact, I've also got new YubiKeys I need to set up, so I should probably get around to that sometime soon. Anyone here got YubiKeys or any kind of physical factor authentication device? There we go. Right then, so let's actually kick off a new ISO build. We may hello Jill, I see you're returning the favour. I was hanging out with Linux Gamecast earlier, watching their after show from their Wednesday recording. Everyone familiar with Linux Gamecast? I think I've got it to auto host here, so hopefully some of you are. Right, currently using it as a GPG key. Right, I understand. Plushy, what is going on? What's going on here? Come on. Right. Wow. There's some bugs being reported there. What's this one? Not mounted after restart. Okay. So we'll tick Ubuntu MATE. So that was last built. It would have been last night at about my time, 2 or 3 in the morning. So the reason I'm doing this, we're going to request a rebuild, which will build a new ISO image of Ubuntu MATE, and it should say, there we go, rebuilding. Now the reason I'm doing this is because earlier on, other fixes what we did, were to the package called Ubuntu MATE settings, and we can't code. Let's get rid of the code there. So the purpose of this, there it is. So 7 hours ago that actually got into the archive. It was very early this morning when I did this. Very early, in fact it was a lot earlier than that. So 2 fixes. One is we disable LightDM manual login, and we enable the assistive technologies in the live session. And what that means is that now, for visually impaired users, they know what the sort of common keyboard shortcuts are to enable the screen reader, for example. And when they do that, it works, which it always did do, but now the installer itself will be screen read, and that was the bug that we're fixing here. So the live session, it would screen read all of the applications and everything except the installer, which is kind of a big deal. So There we go. We'll get on that. So those fixes were landed into this package, and they're in the archive. In fact, there we go. So 9:30 this morning. So just after my walk, I get back from my morning walk at 9:30, and I have 9:30 to 10 o'clock to drink some coffee and do a bit of fiddling about. So that is now in the archive, but it's not in the image, which is why we've kicked off a new image build. So I don't think we can actually test this one very well until we have a new ISO image. This one we can. So we will go and do that because we can test it, and we might as well do that thing. So let's delete our existing VM. The ISO image that I have downloaded here is last night's, so this is good enough for what we need to test. So what we'll do is bring this up on the right screen. There we go. And this is going to want to do an install. I really need to add something to QuickEmu to do something about the volume of those VMs. I'm super horrified by that. I forget every time. I'm sorry if I've just blown your ears out. I really apologise. So we'll do a quick install, and actually we'll do something a bit different on this install. We'll do a minimal install because there's something else we can test whilst that's running. So hello Yannick, welcome back. It's upside down. Yeah, it's a bug in QEMU which inverts some resolutions for some reason. Sai also pointed that out. I am going to look at that, but it's not an Ubuntu MATE bug, it's just a curiosity. So we're going to do a quick minimal install. Fun fact, minimal installs take longer than regular installs. If you know why, explain why in the chat, and if no one knows why, I'll explain in a moment. My password is test, by the way. So we'll enable the login because we want that to work, and we'll also see that Bill's update to the installer slideshow, which we did in the last stream. I think it might have been the last or last but one stream. Anyway, all of that stuff that we did is all landed. So that's good. Let's have a look. Right then, doesn't it copy the image across and then have to remove the packages? Yes, Andy Hazen, that's exactly how it works. So the squashfs file system of the live environment includes the full install, and then when you say I want a minimal install, you obviously get a full install, and then it removes the packages. That sort of a reductive process to make it a minimal install, so therefore a minimal install takes longer than a full install because it actually has some additional processing to do at the end. So, out of curiosity, anyone going to update the look of the bar at the top? Yes. I am aware of that, and I was as surprised as you when I spotted that the other day. And I actually went hunting around in the Ubiquity source code because I was thinking, well, where the heck's that coming from? Because I know for sure and for certain that we're not actually enabling the ambience, themes anywhere. Turns out that's all hard coded in Ubiquity. So in order to fix that, I need to ship an image for that panel, and then I need to apply a patch, submit a patch to Ubiquity to say when it's the MATE live session to use that image to render the panel. And that's what is considered a cosmetic bug, so it's low priority. So I think it is highly likely that I will prepare that patch and it won't get merged for the 2104 release, but it will feature in the 2110 release. I'll obviously do the work, but I understand how these things work, and I suspect that will just get noted, but it won't get merged because it's not critical, and you know, people don't want to be landing new code in the installer late in the cycle. So it's doing the removal piece at the moment. I think you can see it's removing LibreOffice. It looked like I could see whizzing by there. So that's another change since the last live stream, is that the Upstream Uru team made a Uru MATE variation of the LibreOffice icons. And Heather Ellsworth, who maintains LibreOffice in Ubuntu and works on the Ubuntu desktop team, got all of that merged in. So I saw that that had landed, and we've made a settings change. So the Uru MATE derivative of the LibreOffice icons is now the default in 2104, which completes the sort of Uru MATE transformation that we've been working on, more or less. I didn't do Plymouth next cycle. Okay, let's have a little look here. Yeah, so Yannick knew the answer as to why it took longer as well. So what we're looking at here is a bug that we're expecting to see a fix for. You can see here that by default it knows that my user account exists here, but it's defaulted to giving me a login where it says username grayed out there. And the reason why we don't want this behavior is because we've seen people do this, type their password in there thinking they're about to log in, and then disclose their password to everyone around them. So we're going to disable this manual login prompt and only have these prompts here where your password, which is test by the way, is hidden. So what we'll do is we'll log in, we'll send the telemetry, count 1 for the good guys, and we'll update and then upgrade, and somewhere in these, my password is test by the way, and somewhere in here we should see our settings package get pulled in. So there's some apt stuff, there's the kernel, trapper, bug reporter, and there's Ubuntu MATE default settings. So let's let all of that lot in. Whilst we're doing that, this is, I've redone my desk, like completely redone my desk. Here we go. Oh, I forgot to turn the camera on. Man. I'm going to turn the other camera on. Let's see if I can do that from up there. Do that. Flip this way. Now this camera is a bit of a faff to turn on because I've hacked it and it boots off the SD card in maintenance mode to do some things, but it works. There we go. So this is my new desk layout. I've put a glass shelf in, which is there. And I've now got my speakers underneath here, so during the day I can have music blaring out, and new keyboard, new mouse with lots of buttons, which is cool. And now I've got all my audio stuff here, so it's nice and easy to twiddle the knobs and dials on the audio things. Stream Deck here, which, interestingly, Yannick, Monica, Henrik, Eric, this is all your fault. I'll be replacing with this one with lots more buttons on it because of the racing nonsense that we've been doing and all of the additional buttons I've needed to program up. So yes, it's button-tastic, that one. So yeah, so that's my new desk layout, which I'm very happy with. There's some other changes that you can't see up here, but the way I've got the cameras mounted and schnizzle like that. And then what I haven't set up yet is very exciting. I have a new microphone which I'll be adding to the mix. So I have a short shotgun microphone which I'll be suspending up there, and that will mean that I can get a whole bunch of stuff out of the way. So my daughter's been emulating her favourite pop stars using this earlier, so it's also a quality toy for 10-year-old girls, it turns out. So yeah, lots of buttons. So whilst this update technically includes the fixes for the screen reader, that only is the live session. So what we'll do is we'll restart now, and when we come to log back in, we should see that there is no manual login anymore, that we only get a pick list of defined users. So let's just drag this, and there it is. So that appears to work just fine. So now when I type in my password, which is test by the way, it works, and there's no manual login exposed there. The manual login is presented if you're using remote login, so something like FreeRDP or X2Go, for example. So it's only for local logins that's hidden, which seems like a sensible compromise. So there we go. I hope you have recordings of your daughter. Not that I will ever be putting anywhere public, but of course I need plenty of collateral for emotional blackmail when she's older. Hello Esme, welcome back. Oh, you like the transitions, Jill? I'm pleased to hear that. Yeah, they're kind of fun, aren't they? So that's one bug down. So that one we can definitely need to move outside of the VM, and we'll go and mark that one as that one's definitely fixed. Now there was something else actually. It's possible there might be more stuff from the Uru team, so we might want to go and take a look at that at some point. So that's done there. So I suppose we could have a go at the icon theme snap. So let's go and see if Deja Dup is done. So let's go over here. Oh, I'm on the wrong virtual screen every flipping time. You can guarantee that happens at least 3 or 4 times per thingy. So let's go and do this thing. I love this new keyboard, by the way. My gosh, it's great. Okay, so we built that in the playground, so, or at least it's either building or it's built. Let's go and find out. Details, filter by release. Okay, so that has built, but it hasn't published yet, so we'll cheat. So there is the package. Now what I'm interested in looking at is there should be a diff in here. There is. So I'm just going to make sure this is a clean package, because this PPA 1.0 version was built from the Bazaar source repository, so included a lot of cruft, and I'm hoping that I'm going to see that those things are now removed. Yeah, there they all are. Look, all of the Bazaar directory stuff is all gone. So that's good. And the other change is that Marcos synced up all of the translations. So there are some translation updates as well, which is good. So that's looking good, and we'll ninja that. So let's go back to the VM, open a browser in the VM. I've overtyped there, haven't I? There we go. So there we go. You know, future weddings. God, don't make me fret about that. Trying to ignore that that's ever going to be a thing that happens. Right then, let's go and filter this. What time is it where you are, Esme? Because it's late here. Is it ridiculously early where you are, or is it a civilized time? Also, what are you learning about the kernel? What are you supposed to be learning about the kernel? I should probably say. So let's grab that and then we'll install that local package that we've downloaded. Password is test. Oh, and because we did a minimal install. So this is interesting, right? So in the past, you know, people, let me just emphasize what I've done there, because some people might find this useful. So in the past, when you downloaded a deb, people would say do dpkg -i and then the name of the package, right? Let's do sudo. And you do that and it goes, oh, problems are encountered because it doesn't do any dependency resolution. And then people would maybe, if gdebi was installed, would do gdebi -n, I think it is. And that does resolve packages. Now, I haven't pulled it with the thing, but you don't need to do any of that nonsense anymore, because apt now can install from a local path, and it will resolve the dependencies and grab those from the archive. Why didn't that work? Oh, because I did cheat. Silly boy. Deliberately busted the system, but there we go. So there we go. You don't need to do any of the other hacks from last decade. Apt can do it all for you now. Right, so if this works, I should be able to do tail -f session errors and bring up the file manager. And when I click, oh, actually no, this will fail. I should see a seg fault because I haven't restarted the browser. So this is actually quite good. So we should be able to see a before and after here. So if I click on file system, it will cause the code to execute for the Deja Dup plugin, and it should crash. There it is. No, it's not. It hasn't crashed. Why not? Oh, because... Hang on, why didn't it crash? No, I'm actually confused. Oh, because that's the first time I've opened Kaiser. What the? Oh, well, it's fixed. it would have crashed before at this point, and it didn't. And the reason that it worked when I was expecting it not to is because this is the first time I've opened the file manager. Anyway, there's some other deprecations we'll need to get to at some point there. So that's fixed too. And that package uploaded and it works. So what we'll do is we will go and change the change log on this to drop the PPA suffix, and then we'll rebuild the source package and put that into the Hirsute archive. Now, although this is a new version because it's incremented by a point release, which people you know, it's at this point in the release you don't land new features unless you file an exception for new features, but the reason for this is not new features, as you can see. It's all bug fixes, which is why this should make its way into the archive without issue. Why did that complain? Error checking signature. I did upload the right thing. I did. I will check my emails a bit later and make sure that that's all fine. It's a little bit odd. I've not seen that for a while. Okay, so that's in good shape. I wonder if we go to... Come on, let's go down here, virtual screens. Let's go and have a look at CD image. Ubuntu MATE, daily live. Okay, so a new image hasn't turned up. So there we go. Yeah, they were built at 3 AM. The last ones. So I should get a 2021-04-07.1 image as a result of kicking off that build earlier. So let me just catch up on chat here. So your daughter's 6. She's very cute as well, I have to say. They all are at that age, though. I think yeah, you've got a couple more years of cuteness before the attitude kicks in. Oh my god. So Esme, it's ridiculously early. 6:30 AM. What are you doing up at 6:30 AM? That's the middle of the night. Engineering standard time. I've never heard that before. I like that. That's very good. Right then. Learning to fix memory leaks and dereferencing errors. Okay, as part of kernel mentorship. Okay. Getting to learn the algorithms and the guts of what's in the kernel as I go. So is this well, who's this with? Who's this training led by? That's really interesting. Yeah, the apt way is better for sure. Yeah, well, and those old answers will live out there online till the heat death of the universe. Right. So I'm not going to try and test the other things. So let's see if we can find a nice reference with the Linux. Okay, the Linux Foundation. So Greg KH, Shurkan. Okay. Huh. That's very interesting, Esme. Thank you for that tip. I didn't realise that that was a thing. I might have to go looking. I do have one reference, as in I am credited in the Linux kernel source tree in precisely one place. So I've done the bucket list thing of, you know, getting code into the kernel, but I'd like to do it again. And it would probably be better that when I do it the next time, I actually know what I'm doing. Because it was a bit torturous as a kernel newbie doing that stuff. Right. So I think there was a kernel that I just need to move this from behind the chat, because that's properly in the way of what people might want to look at. Yeah, using apt to install local debs. I think that landed. If it wasn't 1804, I think it was 1710. It's been around for a good long while now, but yeah. Yeah, and there's still a lot of references of apt-get. So I wasn't talking about the difference between apt-get and apt so much as the fact that apt can install locally downloaded debs and resolve all of the dependencies. I think it was... Oh, look, I've written white suit because of this stupid code name. Theme, and I think if I look in the Snap Store, maybe I'll be able to find the source code. So this was an interesting... Here we go. This was an interesting theme because I think they bundled the icon theme in the thing, and here we go. So they've got a source repository, which is... Oh, that's the actual icons, not the snap. That's not what I want. I don't want that. Maybe it's here then. So what I'm looking for here, that they definitely made a snap of the thing. Can't find it now. Oh, that it was made by somebody else. There we go. That's what we're after. So here's the snap of the thing. So they've got a snap, which is the GTK themes for GTK2, such a lot of them, and GTK3, and also the icon themes as well. And I thought, being a good developer and not wanting to write any code whatsoever, I'll totally rip this off because it's a pattern I can follow. So what we'll do is we'll go to development, Ubuntu MATE. In fact, I won't go there. What we'll do is we'll cheat and rsync AV the GTK theme Ubuntu MATE, and we'll just say icon theme Ubuntu MATE. So we'll go to icon theme Ubuntu MATE. Here it is. And this is just a copy of the other thing. So we'll go and edit. Oh, we won't do it with Nano though. We'll do that. So this is going to be an icon theme. These names are important. If you want themes to be auto-installed, the icon theme has to be called icon-theme first part of the theme name. Oh, and actually, whilst we're here, I can see that we could update. We'll go and do that first. There's a new package in the archive, so let's go and update the GTK Ubuntu MATE's map. I think that's the right place. So let's just bump this. There's the GTK version. So there's a .6 now, so I should be able to run snapcraft, run it inside LexD. My LexD container should still exist because I don't believe I've thrown it away. So hang on a moment, I see there's some things here. Thanks, Esme. That's some great information in there. Thank you for that. Yeah, so White Sir is a macOS ripoff, but whoever the person is that prepared the themes of the snaps did a great job. So it's a good reference snap for how to do icons and GTK themes. So here we go. We've now got a new snap of the GTK theme. So we will snapcraft, upload the new version into the Edge channel, and that is available for you momentarily. And that's because a couple of streams ago we landed a whole bunch of cool stuff that Frederick had been working on and fixes, and those are now in the snap. And Luke, who's he's an outgoing contributor to Ubuntu MATE, but he still maintains a few bits and pieces. He's done amazing work over the years. He maintains the variations, so those different color variations of the ambient and Hirumate themes that are built into Ubuntu MATE Welcome. That's him, and he uplifted that PPA of those themes recently, so we've now got a full color set, a rainbow of Hirumate. So let's just go back here to what Ferren was asking. So Ferren, yes, there's a snap of the theme. The reason there's a snap of a theme is for this reason. I'm sure you were here, right? You saw this, right? We made a GTK snap so that we could theme our snaps using, our preferences in the desktop environment. Yes. So, Ferren, what's required for GitHub integration with the snap build infrastructure is that you have a correctly formed snapcraft.yaml file in the places in your source tree where a snapcraft.yaml file can exist. So that's either in the directory snapcraft.yaml or .snapcraft.yaml in the root of your project. I think maybe just the file snapcraft.yaml in the root of your project works as well. So those were the variations we've used over the years, and I think all of those work. So if you have a GitHub project and you land a Snapcraft YAML, you can just hook it up from GitHub directly into the store, and you can build and publish into Edge. And if you want to do something more sophisticated, then you can do snap recipes in Launchpad and direct things around different places. Yeah, so yes, as you can see here, I've got, I think what you're asking is that I have a project here which is just the snap, right? It's the only the mechanics to build a snap, not the assets of the theme at all. The theme assets come from a source part. It's called a source part, although I'm not using source. I'm using a deb published in the archive. So that Snapcraft project version is a interpolated string, and it takes the version from there. So that means I can have the all of the snap stuff entirely siloed from the theme itself. Now, you can of course do them all together as well if that's what you want, but you can break them apart. And this suits me based on the way that we collaborate with Uru team. So let me just make sure. I see you've got an interesting question there, Ferren. Let me just check on a couple of things. Okay. Yes, Monica, teal everywhere. Right, so Ferren goes on to say, there was different files in Focal compared to Bionic. How would one go about having ones for Core 18 and Core 20? Right. I may have to ask you a question here. I'm just going to read the rest of your question. So I'm going to start by asking why does the Core 18 or Core 20 matter? I'm not sure that does. Any reason for the DE archive? It's fast. It's based on where I am in the world, that's the fastest one. So I'm using Core 18 to build those snaps because actually you don't need anything newer to build a theme snap, and for it to be backwards compatible all the way to the 14 series, although probably the GTK ABI is busted at that point. Wouldn't Core 18 and Core 20 be the event? It doesn't matter. You can install a Core 16 snap on Ubuntu 20.04. You can install a Core 20 snap on Ubuntu 16.04. Doesn't matter. All that is as the developer, maintainer of the snap, that's your preference as to what is the most convenient build system. You know, the packages that are available in that version of an Ubuntu LTS that you have access to, what's the most useful to you. It's nothing to do with compatibility. Snaps based on different core releases work backwards and forwards in every direction. I could give the snap store Ubuntu 18.04 base variant, yes, but so you could use Core 18 for your snap and include the 20.04 assets, and it will work. And in fact, that's precisely what I'm doing, right? Because the snap that I'm building here is based on Core 18, as you can see, but this is a snap that's included in Ubuntu MATE 21.04 for the first time ever. So this, don't read too much into this. This is about your environment, the environment to compose and run, in air quotes, the snap, not that you run content snaps as such. Not for a content snap, no. For the purpose of don't conflate these content snaps, which use a content interface, with actual snaps, which are binaries and executables that, you know, run stuff. These are different. This snap is just a bunch of assets. It is a bunch of CSS, SVGs, and XML and cursors, right? There's a little bit of code because there's these things that, you know, build the icon caches, but those are forwards compatible, backwards compatible as well. So you know, there's nothing in here that is special to the core release at all. But you're right, if you are making an application snap, then you would want to think about like the core version and whether that is got the versions of the libraries and things that you want to use in that release of Ubuntu. Now, maybe this is a stream for another day because there's a whole bunch of stuff you can dig into here. But you know, you combined PPAs to Snapcraft YAMLs. So let me show you one. Let me show you one I did recently, which you can no longer get anymore. So let's go to development. I think I did this in, yeah, there, and I did the Steam link. So here's the Steam link snap. Don't go looking for it, it doesn't exist anymore because Valve said no. But you can see here I'm using Core 20 as the base, because that gave me access to most of what I needed. I also constrain the architecture, and we use LZO compression for fastness. There's a bunch of layouts, I'm not going to go into that now, but there is one interesting property to this particular snap, which is, well, there's a lot of interesting properties to this snap, but how did I do it in the end? I can't find it. I can't actually see what I'm looking for in this damn thing. Here we go. So there's this bit here, package repositories, and Valve have got effectively a fork of Qt 5.14, very specifically that version, not a point release, specifically that version, and their patches only cleanly apply to this specific version of Qt. So to make building this snap a little bit easier to iterate on, I built a patched version of Qt 5.14 in a PPA, and then I bind that PPA to this snaps build environment. So instead of having to compile Qt from source every time I want to rebuild this snap, it just brings in all of those libraries from a pre-built PPA, which makes it much faster to iterate on. But that's obviously you know, something that doesn't exist in the archive. So could it be a bare snap if it's just assets? I think, Andy, you're going to need to ask that question again. I'm not quite sure I can scan what you mean there. If I give it a theme for 2004 that's slightly broken in 1804, okay. So I think, Ferran, would it be fair to say your question is this, that you want to be able to ship a different revision of your theme for 1804 than you ship in 2004? Forget about core versions in the Snapcraft YAML. Do you want to ship a different revision for your 1804 installs and a different revision? Right. Okay. Let me explain how that works. So this is catered for, and this is part of the release management process in Ubuntu. How can I demonstrate that? Let me just go and find one of my funky shell scripts by way of example. Code. I think, no, it's not MATE versions, that's the open snap channels. Okay, so this is a script that I use. Any snap that is seeded, and what that means is any snap that is present in an image of Ubuntu or one of the flavors, and I think I'm right in saying the only Ubuntus that ship snaps by default is Ubuntu, Ubuntu MATE, and Ubuntu Budgie. I don't think any of the others are doing this yet. But what you have to do is you have to actually open a channel, and the channel is stable/Ubuntu release. So Ubuntu 20.04, Ubuntu-18.04. And when the image is prepared, the snaps are actually pulled from this channel, even though it's closed. Now, the way that channels work is if you open a channel and then close it, it will default to latest stable. But if you ever reopen this channel for reasons of release incompatibility, I think, Ferran, what you're describing, because those snaps were installed from this channel in the first instance, it will revert to that channel to get future updates. So now, as the snap publisher, you can publish a version into the channel. You can publish a version into the channel for 18.04, 20.04 or 21.04. I think it's in the Ubuntu wiki, Ferran. I tell you what. Yeah, this is like an actual policy. Like it's a defined policy, and one of the reasons that this exists is that the release team also have to have access to these channels, because if I get hit by a bus and something breaks at some point, then the release team want to be able to invoke this mechanism and make things good again. So I'll tell you what, Ferran, let's continue this discussion in the dev chat channel of our Discord, my Discord, and I'll find the relevant links on the wiki and send those to you so you can go and have a read how that process works. So I've got another question for you, Ferran. Are you seeding any snaps in any of your OS images? No, you're not. Okay. So that's tricky then, in which case, because some of the gating mechanisms that you have, so you have snaps for your users that they can optionally install post-install. Is that right? Okay. Well, let's pick this up in the Discord, because this is a deep topic. Maybe I need to do some snap stuff here at some point. Anyway, so what were we doing? We'd made an entire copy, I think, before I get into this. I know that's going to be 6. Let's go and see if our ISO image finished building. It did. There it is, look. So, one ISO image. Let's go and get that tested, because that'll be a good thing to get done. I really hope this works. I may have to turn the music down slightly when we get to the right point. So let's go to quick. So it's Ubuntu MATE dev. We're in the right place. Yeah. Z-Sync. Ubuntu MATE Daily Live. That looks like the right thing. This should be a fairly small delta, because I think earlier we saw like about 8 or 9 packages got updated. So this shouldn't be a big change. There we go. Just a few % over yesterday's ISO and today. Okay. Yeah. So, Ferran, if you want to dig into this, there is a mechanism for seeding snaps in ISO images, and it's quite straightforward. And I've got some code that can do that. So if you want to seed your snaps of GTK themes from the correct channel in your ISO image, I can show you how to do that. So that you get those properties that I was explaining, whereby if you ever need to revert to a release specific version of the snap, that you can do that. So we are going to boot up the new ISO. We're going to delete our install, and I'm going to turn the music down a touch. There we go. This screen. And we are going to drag this onto the correct monitor. Gosh. Here it comes. And this is the live session. So, brace yourself. Fingers and ears. Sorry. I wasn't quick enough with the warning. So we're going to hit, in fact,
screen reader on.
Screen reader on. That's good.
Screen reader off.
Okay, so we're going to try, and this will bring us into the desktop for the live session. We will
screen reader on.
Turn the screen reader on, Stephen, and we'll just wait a moment. There's still a delay in starting this. Loving you liking the synth wave, are you, Eric? Right, okay, yeah, you can do it with channels. Channels is the way to do it.
Welcome frame.
So that works, right? So it's reading the desktop at this moment. We're going to hear a lot from our little chatty robot friend. So let's just close
push
that.
button. Desktop. Icon view.
And now we're going
in
to
menu. Open
the installer.
Desktop. Install Ubuntu MATE 21.0.
Bother, that hasn't worked. This is half a fix. This hasn't worked. Because there is no sound. You're not hearing anything being screen read. But if I...
Top panel frame. Firefox web browser browse the World Wide Web.
If I log out and log back in.
Screen reader on.
Oh, crikey, what's this? This is new as well. Oh, crikey. Oh, gosh, we're in a world of
Ubuntu frame. Ubuntu frame. Hide details push button.
Bother. Well, that just went from bad to worse.
Ubuntu frame. Hide details. Ubuntu frame. Hide details push button.
So, I'm just going to leave that crash report up.
Dev menu. Open. Desktop. Install Ubuntu MATE 21.0. Install frame. Quit push button. Continue push button.
Okay. Now it's screen reading the installer.
Table with 99 rows, 1 column. English, yes.
Okay, let's restart this
Top
process.
panel frame. Firefox alert. Shut down this.
I'm just going to try something else because I want to check this. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Right, let's try you again. Let's enable the screen reader here. Gosh, these multiple displays. So, I'm going to turn the screen reader on again.
Screen reader on.
Okay. And I'm going to do this try thing and see what happens.
Frame. Screen reader on. Alert warning. Brisk menu has quit unexpectedly. If you reload a panel object, it will automatically be added back to the panel. Reload push button. Ubuntu frame. Don't send push button.
We have broken so many things.
Desk menu. Open. Desktop. Install Ubuntu MATE 21.0.
But the installer is still not being read. Okay, I'm just
Top
gonna
panel frame. Firefox web browser browse the World Wide Web. Screen read.
try the next version. There's more work to be done here, I think. Oh man. What's the date? When's the release? Gosh. Well, that's annoying. Come on. I'm not even going to wait for this. I don't need to wait for this.
Thank you for the follow, HC900.
Thanks, HC. How did you find us? How did you find this corner of the internet? Feel free to say hello. We're a friendly crowd here. So let's just do this again, and we'll start the screen reader and try the install, but not from within the live session. If we get any kind of screen read install, that's better than the current situation, which is that nothing screen reads the install. So going to turn
screen reader on.
Screen reader on, and now install. Oh. Okay. This is barely a fix. So we have work to do there. Well, there we go. That's a fail. We don't get to tick that one off the list tonight. It's not always champagne and roses. Sometimes it's a big fat fail, and that's what we're looking at right now. So that is clearly something we need to review. So I think that we did. That's a fail. And we've uploaded that to Hirsute. We have tested it. So that one will tick off. And whilst I'm here, I'm going to go and look at the Upstream Uru project to see if there's anything new going on there that I need to consider pulling into the Uru MATE theme. And that's because they have bursts of furious energy, and sometimes I need to sort of keep pace with that stuff. Oh, there's a new Uru. Okay. Update audio speaker icons. Okay. So when was that from? 7 days ago. I think I have got everything up to this commit. So they've now got a wine tricks icon. Ooh, that's fancy, isn't it? Check that schnizzle out. And audio speaker icons purple. What's changed here, I wonder? Oh, I see. They've made it the correct colour. Okay. And adding Uru icon. or G parted. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I probably want those. In fact, I do want those. And let's just go and look at the issues, because there was this one that Frank raised. Let's see if we've got... Okay, so they think this is not a Uru issue. Okay, all right. Well, I will take a better look at that in the morning. So there are a few commits. That's probably an activity for tomorrow. So what we'll do is we'll go back to first of all here, and we'll look at the Snapcraft YAML. Here it was, the Snapcraft YAML for the icon theme, which had that in it and these bits, and we'll get the icon theme done, because why not? It shouldn't take long. He says at midnight. Be fine, right? HC is my desktop account. Oh, HC! Now I get it. Hello. Hello, HC. Welcome back. Very good. Right then. Hello, Adam. How are you? Welcome back. So we'll... change that to those bits. So let's go here. This is the theme itself. Snap of the Uru Mate icon theme. So I don't think we need any of that. We just need to go and rip out in the wrong place. Need to go and rip out these content interfaces here for icon theme. And drop that in instead of all of this stuff. And what we'll have is Uru Mate Dark and Uru Mate Light. Call that icons. It's an arbitrary name. It doesn't matter what it is. And this is going to be, I think it'll be that. Let's just check. I can't remember. Icon themes. Can't believe that screen reader stuff's still broken. It's so frustrating. Right, okay. So it looks like, oh, that's the GTK stuff. So here we go. Make that directory, do the install thing and some stuff. Oops. So let's just see how this differs. Well, that's obviously the same. We need the build step first. Then get rid of that, and then we've got a update icon cache. Okay, so that's all fine. We'll get rid of that. We'll assume this is going to work. We've already got these scripts that we yanked in last time. HC, success indeed. Is Snapcraft.io having a doozy right now? Don't know. They might be doing a site deploy. Looks like it's working. Can't remember if it's status dot. No, or if it was. Well, there is a status. There it is, status dot. There we go. So it will tell you when there were issues. So yeah, status.snapcraft.io. It's not to say that, you know, something might be busted and it's not being reported on that page, but right, okay, so now the staging stuff, we'll go and look over here, and yeah, we can do something similar to that. We can stage a nice convenient wildcard. Something like that. Technically, that's probably it. What do we reckon? Is that going to work? Where is this? This is in Ubuntu MATE icon theme. In fact, let's just name this appropriately now. So we'll build that. That's going to create a new container, so that will take just a moment. HC, I'm glad that you found QuickMU useful. I'm going to be revisiting that soon on some streams here. One, to update it with current versions of stuff, and also my good friend Alan Pope tells me that he has written a shonky shell script for QuickMU that he is going to submit as a pull request that will iteratively download all the supported Ubuntu releases and scaffold a QuickMU configuration for each of them. So yeah, so I'll be, you know, running through all of that. And yes, Ripper is my Threadripper system. So here we go. There's all the cores. Yes, it's a little bit grotesque, but I kind of love it. I think I'm going to learn to hate it. I'm already thinking about having to do something about this. It just generates, I mean, it's fine. So we had a couple of hot days last week, like properly hot, and it was miserable. Yeah, so I mean, maybe HTOP shows that off a bit more nicely. There we go. There's the cores all working away quite nicely. But the heat coming out the back of this thing is intolerable. And today, well, the last few days, it's been blooming freezing. In fact, 2 days ago, it was snowing here. So actually having this thing pumping out a bunch of heat next to me is rather lovely, as it has been through the winter. So my advice is never build a new computer in the winter months, because you're not thinking about what it's going to be like in the summer. Yes, 256 gigs of RAM. Still got 3 megs of swap though. How is that even a thing? How's that even a thing? I can't imagine that there was enough memory pressure to push 3 megs onto disk. Yeah. Is there... Oh, I can't quite see that. Sorry. Is there an option to source a specific branch? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Baron, let me show you. Oh, I'm on the wrong blooming thing again. Right. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? Why is this not working? Escape. There we go. So let me show you an example of that. Let's go to... So there's a bunch of stuff in here, and one such bunch of stuff would be this. There we go. So the NVIDIA SDK headers, you can see here, it's grabbing stuff from Git, and I'm pulling it from a specific branch, and that's all you need. And you can replace source branch with source tag if you like. And you can even do in fact, let me show you. I think I've got an example here, way down here. This is a large snap because it's a very complex bit of stuff. There's an example of source tag, a pipe wire, and I think I may have changed it just recently. Yeah, I have. I've got source tag. But you can also do source commit, and you can put your big long hash in there and actually pin it to a particular commit. So there are some projects who don't have good release hygiene, and so they'll release a new version, but they don't tag it, they don't branch it or whatever. So you have to track individual commits. Okay, what were we doing? Oh, this failed. Failed, unable to determine the source type for utils. Oh. What did I do there then? Oh, have I forgotten to, whoops. Have I forgotten to copy the things over? No way, how did that happen? Hang on a minute. Let's just do this with a file browser and just take a look, see if I've made a big mess. So we can also turn the music up a little bit, can't we? There we go. So GTK snap. There it is. How did I not pull those in? We'll pick up all of that, copy all of those things, and did I specifically just rsync the snap directory over? That was foolish. Right, okay, well that will probably be why that wasn't working then. Whoops. Right then, let's rebuild that. Night, Yannick. Nice one, HC. You're welcome, Yannick. Thank you for stopping by. Right then. So, Ferren, if you're doing stuff with snaps, if you just type Snapcraft and, you know, the words like Snapcraft, Git, branch, they're well indexed docs. You'll probably find the right page just by what the heck. Okay. Utils. Oh, where did this install come from? Ah. Right, let's go and have a look then, because they've got an install.sh. Let's go and find out where that came from. What? Okay. Am I being dim? What am I missing here? They've got a install.sh. Install.sh. Oh, I wonder if that came from this. Okay, I think that's what I got wrong there. I've made an assumption. Okay, let's just think about this. Is it in GitLab? I think it is. There we go. So this is where we grab those two files from. And then we go and look in here. I can go and look at what I've done before. And icon theme, I dumped it. Oh my gosh, what did I do here? Don't include the panel icons to reduce size, as they aren't generally useful in the snap. Oh, that's a good point. No, this should be fine. We don't need those in the snap at all. And I don't need to do this for the Euro thing, so I just need to do these steps and change the names accordingly. So let's just get rid of that bit, and we should find that, yeah, that's the same. Move, so we'll make this Hirsute star to there, and then update the icon cache. There we go. And then stage just those icons. So let's just rebuild that. So, Wimpy, have you ever tried the Dark Reader Chrome extension? I haven't. What is that, Henrik? And HC, do you know away off the top of your head any icon packs that fill in things like Postman and PyCharm? So HC, I think the answer to that question is generally, excuse me, no. So in recent times, the icon theme designers have been respectful to projects and organizations' brands and not restyled, you know, their application icons. They have just let them use their, you know, their brand icons, which is why you'll find that, you know, Yuru doesn't have any icons for any you know, proprietary or brand sensitive projects. Yep, it's on you, I'm afraid, but you know, it's doable. So there we go. So we've now got an icon theme. Now I need to think of a way of testing this. So I think I'll snap run OBS demo, which is my test version of the OBS snap. And I'm doing this off screen, but I'll bring it over. So I'm doing this, which is an export. And if I drag that over, we can see here, these are stock GNOME folder icons, not what are Ubuntu MATE icons. So we'll shut that down. And we'll install, what do we call it, icon theme. This is dangerous because it hasn't come from the store, so it's not signed. And then I think we need to connect that, and there will be a nice useful line about that in here. So they say do this. And we'll totally go and do that. So this is connecting, we're going to connect a single snap to this new icon theme. And our icon theme is called Icon Theme Uru Mate. This is going to be OBS demo. Password is not test on this occasion. So that's connected. So now we'll run the snap again. Getting late, my fingers are failing. So I've now got this open on the other screen here. So I don't know if Eric is still watching. If you are, Eric, let me know. I'll show you something. Blow your mind. Right then, and now I'm bringing down that same export window, and as you can see here, this is all of the icons from the Uru Mate icon theme. So that works, I think, for the purposes of... So I'll get back to this. Eric, this is why I have this OBS demo snap, because when I drag this in, all will become clear. Are you ready? It's another instance of the snap, and through the magic of quality capture cards, this is how I did that tutorial with OBS inside OBS. I was able to you know, run two OBSs side by side effectively. That's the trick. That's how it's done. I've gone off screen. There we go. Let's click that. So that's how it works. And a convenient feature is it works because of PCI Express capture cards, which can have multiple processes reading from them. So also in your face windows, can't do that on Windows easily. Right then, so let's actually Snapcraft upload Snapcraft upload icon theme that, and we'll release that to the Edge channel, because I did register this name. So there we go, that's on its way up. I'm not going to get into this now because it's 20 to 1, but what I'll do is tomorrow morning, whilst I'm drinking my coffee after my morning walk, I will go and fancy up that icon theme Uru Mate so that it works. Oh, in fact, actually, here's something I haven't tested. Here's our VM we were running earlier. I did make a change the other day. I have no idea if this works, but I tried to do it. Let's go and see. So let's unlock our VM. Let's start a console. Let's make it... Oops, I missed it. Make it... Am I even in the thing? There we go. Whoop. Snap list. Yes, it worked. I've made it too big though. So let's just do that. Clear that. Run it again. What you'll see here is that the GTK theme Hirsute Mate is now seeded in the ISO image. So what I'll do is I'll add the icon theme to that as well, which means as people install snaps, it won't be auto connected yet because that's a feature of Snapd, but it will at least be there, so people don't have to sort of download it on demand. It will just get auto connected. So I'll add the so let's go and do that now. Let's go and add this as yet. In fact, since Ferran was asking questions, let's go through the whole process. So what we'll do is this. I have my bobbins shell
Thank
script.
you for the follow, YUII 6969.
Thank you for the follow indeed. How did you find us? You know, feel free to say hello. We're a friendly crowd here. It's always good to get to know where people have come from. So let's open up my janky shell script to open channels. Oh, this doesn't work at the moment. I found a bug in Snapcraft and I haven't told people about it. That bit doesn't work. Well, never mind. Let's just go with it. So this is going to open the channel, and I think it's going to fail to close it. Yeah, there we go. So there's a bug in Snapcraft at the moment, which means the closure doesn't actually work. But that has got a correct channel open now, and then what I can go and do is go to the seeds for Ubuntu MATE. I'll just make sure that there's no changes anywhere else outstanding. I don't think there should be. No, there's not. So I think it's in core. So down the bottom here, this is the right file. Is this the right? No, it's not, is it? It's in desktop. So in the desktop seed, I hope. There we go. So this is where you instruct the build system, the image build system, what packages are used to compose the distro, and that includes the snaps. So we'll add that in there because as that gets promoted, you know, into the store, the next time the ISOs build, which won't be this evening, but it will be on the 9th, so sort of 23 hours from now.
Thank you for the follow, Studio JVLA.
Thank you very much for the follow. How did you find us? So there we go. That's done. So we'll just minimize our VM because that's in the way. So we'll save that and we'll seed the Hirsute Mate icon theme. And we'll push that up. And that's done. So that is now... I don't know. Studio. Okay. Well, I hope you found something interesting here. Thank you for the follow. How do people generally find me? I don't know. I think Twitter, generally speaking, these days, if I look at things, mostly on Twitter. But yeah. So Well, I'm great that it's great that this is good background stuff. I have streams on, not all day, but I put streams on in the background whilst I'm doing stuff as well. This has become like the new podcast for me, you know, like putting on podcasts in the background. Hello, Big Pod. Welcome back. How are you doing? OHC, so you know me from the Ubuntu podcast, is that right? You learned of me through Linux Unplugged. Yeah, I need to get back on that now. I'm trying to. Hopefully from next week I'm going to try and get on that every other week again, like I used to do. I'm really itching to get back on there. I used to enjoy that a lot. It's a great way to connect with like-minded people. So Farron's got another question. If a read value folder location has a space in the folder name, does it need quotes? Probably. Yeah, you probably need to. Yeah, quote it as though you're on the shell. Quote it as though you're in Bash. Good to hear you're doing well, Big Pod. I remember you telling me the other day that you'd been out for a haircut. So the good news is that the mandatory closure of hairdressers in the UK is coming to an end. So as of tomorrow, I can phone up and book an appointment, and I'm going to go to the hairdressers for the first time since November the 4th, sometime next week. Not like I'm super proud of my, you know, thinning hair, but I'm looking forward to getting all of this nonsense cut off. It's driving me mad. Adam, you're so funny. Ubuntu Mate, dude, indeed. Yeah, Guy Fawkes haircut, absolutely, yeah. You normally have YouTube videos or some tech streams on. Yeah, tech conferences. Yeah, I often put on things like Linux Conf AU presentations in the background. The presenters at Linux Conf AU are generally speaking outstanding. That's a great one. If you've not seen any of the presentations recorded there, often they're all excellent. Henrik's managed 4 years without a haircut. Well, that's the other option. Although my hair grows really slowly, is what I have learned. So it's just in a perpetual state of annoying. It never gets to, you know, flowing lock stages or anything like that. Yes, you could do that too. Yep, Farron, that is a perfectly legit answer. And you'll see that's what's going on here in those examples I was looking at. In fact, I don't know if it's in these examples, but it's certainly in the one mini moment. Yeah, I should have thought of that because that's exactly what we're doing. Here, look. No, that's a bad example because that one doesn't have versions. Let's go to not Snapcraft. GitHub. GitHub is where we're going. Come and join me over at GitHub, everybody. Well, look at this, and we should have this here, the snap. If we look at the YAML, you will see that we have precisely what you've described. Now, I'm staging all of the GTK3 versions in the snap, but there are, I think it's GTK 3.0 and 3.20 in there. So you could do precisely what you've described. Baron, that's a really good question, and I'm not certain of the answer. I think I know the answer. I will check with the desktop team because I think it's meant to do the matching of ABI, you know, with the GTK version. But I don't know if that's implemented in this first iteration. I'll find out and get back to you. Yeah, that would just generally Linux Conf AU just attracts really good speakers. I mean, it's the Linux conference that I've most wanted to go to that I've never been to. I would love to go. Well, I don't know. It's great work. It is some work. I mean, we've had some success. So, talking about some success, let's go back to our to-do list. Let's get rid of that and this. We don't need this snap channels thing because that didn't work. See, there's an example of things that didn't work. Oh, let's see if that built. Let's go and see if that's been accepted into the archive. In fact, if we refresh this and it's been accepted, there we go. Oh, hello. It hasn't yet. Yeah, that's a worry. Oops, that's the wrong. I've got all the D's there. So let's see what's going on here. Bother. Why hasn't that gone up? Well, I need to go and check on why that is, which I won't do here because I need to open up my email to dig into that. Right. What else was in our little to-do list? Let's just tick off what we've actually been able to get done. OBS demo was for learning purposes, so we don't need that open anymore. Don't save. Here we go. Why didn't they go up? That's annoying. Okay, so we did do that, and I have done that. So I'm going to add a new thing for my morning coffee checklist, which is merge new Yaru icons into Yaru Latte. And then that's one job. And then the next one is release new Ubuntu MATE artwork. So that's the big fail of the evening. And we got 2 more follow-on actions. So let's just save that into there. There we go. Well, I think we're kind of at a point where we're done. So let me just bring this up here. Thank you all very much for joining again. We're just coming up to the 2-hour mark, so that feels like a nice, you know, stopping point, doesn't it? So thanks everyone for stopping by. I appreciate the company. Lovely to have you here as always. I'll be doing a couple more of these this week, and as I said, there is a new Twitch channel, Slim DevOps, and I'm going to be doing some OBS stuff in there, probably during the daytime tomorrow. So if you want to see an OBS set get constructed from scratch and you want to ask questions as I go, then I'll be doing that over there. And I'll also be doing some of that in this channel at some point soon for Boss Talk Live. So get subscribed to both those if you care about learning more about OBS. Which channel? I'll put it in the chat here. So that is the channel for work. I think I've typed that correctly. Now, something that I have never done, I've never remembered to do, is raiding channels. So I think it's unlikely that any of the people that I follow are doing stuff in Twitch right now. Yeah, they're not. So I'm just looking. I can't see any of the Linuxy types doing any streams at the moment. Who's this? I can't even remember. So I've actually remembered whether it was worth raiding somebody, but nobody that I know is streaming at the moment, so that's a bit sad. Yeah, our podcast, we can have a chat about that. I mean, if anyone can find a channel that's streaming right now that they think is decent, let me know what it is and we'll go and raid them. So I'll give you a few minutes if you know of anyone that you think the few of us that are still watching here would appreciate. Let us know and we'll do the Twitch etiquette thing and do a little raid. But if not, we'll just sort of sulk. Say we're small and we have no Twitch friends. Yeah, I mean, let's have a chat about that in Discord. So we have a Discord for this, little community of people. I can share with you what I've learned along the way, and it really does come down to the interactive nature of Twitch. And curiously, it can be better quality video on Twitch despite the caps on bitrate, because of the way the YouTube transcoders work. They really mess with the quality for some reason. Anyway, but the engagement here is better as well, I would say. Not the same potential audience, but the actual live engagement is better. And what I'm doing, and I'm going to get better at, is I do upload archives of these to my YouTube channel. And what I'll start doing is editing those down a bit, so the versions that go up to YouTube are sort of a more, not massively so, but a more concise version of the stream. So cut out some of this sort of chit chat that really only works as a live medium. Yeah, you said that. Yeah, I was surprised actually. If you go and look in the science and technology category, which is what I elected for this stream, you'll find there's a good number of people that are doing this kind of code development, whatever you want to call it, live coding. The alerts of who you follow going live is better in Twitch. Yes, it is. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whoever thought up that even just subscribing to a YouTube channel now is just overly complicated. Right, okay, well, I've not seen anyone come up with any good ideas about who's streaming that they would suggest. I'm just doing another quick look now. I'll just reload. And yeah, none of the people that I follow are doing that thing. So, we'll call it. Thank you all very much for stopping by. I do appreciate the company. And what day is it today? Is it Wednesday today? It is, isn't it? Wednesday today. I may do another one of these tomorrow. But if not, definitely Friday or Saturday and Sunday. There's a few coming up. And I'm going to start chopping it up a bit because we're cutting through the Ubuntu MATE 2104 stuff. So I'm going to be revisiting some other projects. And eventually doing some PC building and hardware stuff as well. So I've got a desk behind me that I'm preparing to do some of that stuff. So yeah, get followed. It's gonna get a bit more interesting here. It's not just going to be code. We're going to get into some hardware stuff as well. Well, thank you all for coming. It's nearly 1 AM. I think it's time for sleeping now. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.